Episode 178. Komori is trying and failing to teach Shortstack how to draw a cart. It doesn't seem very complicated, but his form is all wrong. Kind of just has one leg over the bar here and doesn't really seem to understand the positioning. That's fine. We train Shortstack for healing and battle and whatnot. Doesn't have to learn how to draw a cart. Gonna be continuing the main quest over here in Tailfeather, this whole Chocobo Forest region. First I want to finish up this last quest related to the Aether Current quest we did. Finish up that quest chain, so to speak. Battle music really interrupted that music there. I guess it's still going on in the background. I guess they sort of have like a two-track situation going on. It doesn't forget the place of the old track, in terms of like where it is in the musical score, even when it plays a second track over it. I guess it would be like a maximum of 2 tracks that it has to remember, just the world track and then any battle track. It's probably the same thing inside of a dungeon, right? I guess. Sure, the track changes as you transition from one zone to another or something, but that would still be track A, so to speak. Track B only overlays on top of track A whenever there's a battle, I'd say, or like a boss or something. God damn it, that's the third time this week. Blasted Bandersnatches keep snapping up the chocobos before we collect them from the traps. The blasted beasts got a taste of chocobo meat, and now they won't stay away. Why, I seen 3 prowling nearby, not a bellico, waiting for an easy meal. If you were to get rid of them, might be as I'll make it worth your while. I actually did find out, after the last episode, that the quest that used to be somewhere in this area, or that you had to complete in this area, to teach your chocobo how to fly, simply isn't in the game anymore. Obviously, I realized you didn't have to do the quest anymore to teach your chocobo to fly or anything, but I thought it might still be in the game for, I don't know, just for the purpose of completing it, I guess. Whatever lore there might be from that quest, if you could call it that. But I guess a lot of the dialogue from that quest wouldn't really make sense. I guess they'd be talking about how to teach your chocobo to fly and all that. Probably best to just remove it entirely, I guess. Oops. Broke my combo. Another one up there. Oh, it was only 3 this time? Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 4. This time it was 3. I guess rarely it might be 5. Not sure if it's ever been 6 though. And I guess sometimes it's 1, when it's just like one big guy. Don't think it's ever 2 though. You slew the beasts. Wonderful. Now the chocobos won't become Bandersnatch fodder no more. To be fair though, the birds are perfectly capable of fending for themselves. They only fell prey to the Bandersnatches because they were trapped. For that I feel bloody awful. Thanks to you, the noble creatures won't meet such an unfitting end no more. Just the end of being captured, huh? Alright, that's it on the quest chain, right? No more from that guy, just the main quest, I guess. Won't do these other quests here in Tailfeather. Unless I think there's a good reason to do them. Although the name of this one... Well, actually the names of both of them. One, the Clever Chicks. Guess that's a, that might be... And I might be reaching here. Could be a Jurassic Park reference. Clever Girl and all that. Was interested in that one just because it seems like playing around with the chicks at the camp. But we won't waste time with that. And then this one. I want to be the hunter, I just noticed. Couldn't possibly be. This might be even more of a stretch, but... Is that an I Wanna Be the Guy reference? When did that game come out? Around the same time as Heavensward, maybe? How old is it? We've been keeping you waiting, haven't we? Kind of been an entire day since we came here to rest. Well, we're done now. We can continue on, if that is what this quest is. I dare say you're wondering what could possibly be worse than dragons, eh? Well, I'll tell you, the bloody Nath. They're what you might get if you crossed an antling with a megalocrab and taught the thing how to walk on 2 legs. They never used to stray far from their hives out of fear of the dragons. They've gotten a lot more aggressive of late, sending out war parties for mobs in all directions. They've even taken to harassing the Dravanians in their own lairs, if you can even believe it. And when they venture into the forest, which is more and more, by the way, they certainly ain't afraid to come after my lot. I can only imagine how much worse it'd be closer to the Nath's home territory. Now listen here, lass. If you get set on heading west, you'd best keep your ears peeled for the angry clicks of Nath's mandibles, or you'll find yourself staring into a set. Anything new? No. It would seem that much has changed in Travania. The Nath were not wont to cause such strife when I lived here. You lived here? In Travania? Ah, 'twas in the time following the calamity. My family was dead, my home was gone, and I had fled from the bitter cold into these lands. I knew not the path of the forest then, and wandered out from under the protection of its boughs. That was when I chanced upon Hraesvelgr. He had descended from his mountain lair to hunt for food. My exhausted mind could not contend with the sight of the majestic worm, nor the vision of the past his presence visited upon me. Thankfully Marthatomp found my unconscious form at the edge of the trees, and nursed me back to health. And in Tailfeather I remained for some time. Hence your familiarity with the locals. But I interrupted you. You were saying these Naths were once a peaceful people. Peaceful would not be the most fitting description. They are a fiercely territorial tribe, and any who intrude upon their domain are attacked without hesitation or quarter. Outside the borders of their homeland, however, they were rarely hostile. Indeed, we were even able to trade with them on occasion. They have changed then. What of it? We have not the time to creep through the underbrush on some roundabout route. I say we make straight for Somal, and crush any unruly insect we meet underfoot. A more direct path then. Very well. Let us follow the trail west out of the forest, and make for the statue of the stained one. From there we should have a fair view of the road that leads to Somal. Shall we? We shall. As expected, the quest leads right out of the area. Guess I'm glad I wrapped up that whole quest chain first. If you can call it that. It was one quest that branched into 3 separate branches, or into 3 separate quests, that didn't converge back at Marthatomp in any way whatsoever. No real closure to it. but it was a decent look at the area and what the people do here. This would be one of the quests where we just, as it says in the top right, defeating any foes who stand in your way. This isn't actually the destination, it's just one of the quests that takes you along a certain path, and you just defeat enemies along the way. I think we did some of that in A Realm Reborn, maybe? Damn. Do we have to fight this thing? Can we just de-aggro it? There we go. These we do have to fight though. Go down in a heartbeat though. Oh, there was one more. I guess we were surrounded, technically. I'm always too hesitant to spend the heat and the battery resources on little guys like this. It would probably technically be more efficient if I actually did that. Maybe the next guy we see, we just throw our rook at it. Any currents? Nope. Good thing I checked. Alright, that's 2 out of 4. Next ones are probably way over in the opposite half of the map, right? Yeah. 927 yalms to the west. We're not going to worry about it until until we get to the part of the quest line that I think is over there. I do vaguely remember some parts of this quest line. Right, that place. Okay, you take care of that, you take care of this. And the rook took care of most of the work. It was a good use of battery. Out of the forest now. Is the canopy really that thick that the dragons can't see through it? I guess I didn't really look up that much while we were inside the forest. Plus dragons can just kind of, well, walk on the ground, right? I guess they don't really do that often. That guy, not really a spoiler, is doing society quests. There are societies in this region, not really a spoiler. It's probably not really a secret which society. Should we chance to meet Marthachop again, remind me to thank him. Had he not warned us to expect an ass, I doubt we would be standing here. Really, they weren't that tough. I mean, I guess they did ambush us. Amid ruins that I would tentatively describe as Ishgardian, the style, if not quite identical, betrays a definite resemblance. You have a scholar's eye, Master Alfinode. This structure is, in fact, over 1,000 years old. It is a remnant of the age when our ancestors and dragonkind lived together in peace. You claim this as evidence of our harmonious past. I was taught that these buildings were constructed by heretics, in honor of your Dravanian masters. This rubble inspires no such awe in me. Stubborn fool, how desperately you cling to the false teachings of your beloved Holy See. Enough, both of you. You threaten the success of our mission with this incessant squabbling. Komoy, pray reason with these two. Wow, so many options. Our goals are the same. Set aside your differences for now. The truth of the past will be revealed. Or grunt. I mean, Some of these are better options than others. I think Komori just tries to keep the peace with a solid grunt, kind of wave her gun around and grunt at them, keeping his sail on parole and keeping Gestinian in check. Yeah. Maybe this would be a more worthy way to put it, but the grunt is fine. Gods above, even Komori has lost patience with you. Thanks for putting into words what we can't, Alfinode. We have a common goal, lest you forget, to prevent a war which will claim countless lives on both sides. If we are to accomplish this, you must learn to tolerate each other's presence. Trusting Komori's gift, in time the secrets of history will be brought to light. Let that be enough, Estinian. You would have me keep my counsel until Komori's visions confirm the truth? Very well, but bait me not. Our meeting with Race Velger will likely provide the catalyst Komori's gift requires, as it did mine. Let us press on. Oh, you were waiting on this, were you? I did notice it aggroed on us during that cutscene, or right before the cutscene. Maybe I should have used my heat on it. And I guess I could still use my heat on it, but I won't. Not that much of a time save. Dragons in the sky and gnat upon the ground. One must needs sprout eyes in the back of one's head to survive this land. These Ant-men are bold to bring their war to the dragon's doorstep. Mayhap we should invite them to man the walls of Ishgard. Was that a joke, Estinian? Are you actually a funny guy? Spy you the three great towers to the west. Ishgardians know them as Enix Shrine. The place serves as a roost for Heavensward's lesser kindred. If we are to reach the peak of Somal, then we must first beseech these dragons to open the way. But do not be disheartened. The one who leads them is a friend. Or, of rather more concern, is the disposition of the Nas. Let us survey the approach to the towers, and see if the path is clear. Back to the path. I vaguely recall this site on my main character. Those kind of towering, smoky, whatever you'd call them, in the background. I remember thinking it was kind of cool. Kind of the same thing with that big floating rock in the background. Just a vague feeling of remembering that looks cool. Any other currents? To the southeast, actually. Way over here? We'll worry about it later. Once you get up close to it, it's not as big as it maybe looked in the distance, I guess. Still looks cool, though. So this path, the path we're on, who walks it, like normally? Probably not created by the NAS, but this bridge here, would it have been built by the ancient Ishgardians or something some 1,000 years ago? Same thing with the path in general. And then part of the path was co-opted by the chocobo, whatever you call them, the poachers, not poachers, they're wranglers, I guess, and also by the NAS, and the dragons. Well, I guess not co-opted would be the word for the dragons. It would seem the enemy of mine enemy is also mine enemy. You have so many enemies, Stinian. The Nas are fast becoming a nuisance. They seem to plague our every step. It's as I feared. The road ahead is teeming with Nas soldiers. Arthurtop did not exaggerate then. These beastmen have grown brazen indeed if they would threaten the dragon so openly. Do they intend to assault the lair itself? I pray they do not. Mighty though my Dravanian friends are, they are yet vulnerable to the Nas muskets. Right. The Nas use muskets. They also wield guns. I completely forgot that fact. Were they? Were they wielding guns when they were fighting me? They might have been, and I just didn't notice. There's no route save the one before us. Should the beastmen offer battle, we have no choice but to accept. Enix Shrine. 3 towers. Let's start with this, then this, and then some heat actions. Alright, didn't use the full heat, but at least we used, the heat. Oh great, we ran out of heat. I thought I was going to use some more of the heat, but we didn't. We didn't use the heat. I actually died pretty quickly. Bosom Buddies is almost complete, but it's pointless. Our Chocobo is already max level, until we can stable it. If only that experience would kind of like compound in the background or something. Like it wouldn't actually level up the Chocobo, but it would still be compiled for when we do actually stable it or something. Oh, still more, huh? Can I? There we go. Yeah, they die too quickly to make use of the heat. Well, it doesn't matter, it's still just wasted meter if I don't use it. A greater dragon approaches. The scale of this structure is nothing short of astounding, but that is only to be expected, I suppose, given the size of its occupants. I take no pleasure in killing the Nas. 'Twas to avoid bloodshed that I agreed to join you on this journey. Well, it cannot be helped. We may proceed into the courtyard together, but leave the task of hailing its occupants to me. And keep your lance on your back, Dragoon. On my word to the Warrior of Light, I shall start no fight, only finish it. You are truly beyond salvation. Come then.
Vidofnir!
Ah, 'tis thee, little one. From above I did mistake thee for a Nath. 'Tis well I chanced to look again, or thou wouldst now be ash.
Dear Vidofnir, how I have missed you. Would that I had come sooner, and not out of dire necessity.
Thou art troubled. Speak that I might know thy plight. thou wouldst have father admonish his brood brother.
I would end this war without further bloodshed.
How am I to believe thee, little one, when thine own companion beareth Nidhogg's stolen eye?
Have care, dragon, or I shall gouge out one of yours.
Come on, Estinian. We're trying to make friends here.
You forget yourself, sir. We are here on a mission of peace.
My sire's will forbiddeth me from inviting discord to our home. 'Tis for this reason and no other that thou still drawest breath, knight.
Vidofnir, please. We must be allowed to convey our intentions to Hreysvelgar in person, with words of our own choosing. Grant us this favor, and open the way to Som Al.
Thou hast ever been welcome, little one. But I cannot grant thy wish. I am bound to remain here, and protect my kin from the Nath's god.
Here we go.
The Nath have summoned a primal.
Yeah. Who would have thought, right? I know. You know that look.
Pray excuse my forwardness, but if we were to eliminate the threat to your territory, would you consent to Lady Izel's request?
Ha! Dost thou imagine thyself equal to the task? To succeed where dragons have failed?
I don't know. I think we could do it. We've done it before.
'Tis beyond thee, mortal. But thou art welcome to try, nonetheless. Only know that idle promises shall avail thee naught.
It would seem we have no choice but to make good on Alphino's offer. Why must our every bid for peace breed yet more war?
What's wrong, Estinian? What's that look for? By the Fury, must we now defeat a primal that we might treat with a worm? I do begin to see how you gained your reputation for surmounting the insurmountable. Once more, a primal rears its head, and once more the task of saying it falls to you. Would that I too possess the echo? If only. So, the Nath have summoned their god, and thus is the mystery of their newfound belligerence laid to rest. Are you not glad, Lady Iceheart? I thought you would applaud them for summoning a primal to further their own ends. After all, you did. Yeah, I guess she did do that. You got her there, Estinian. I did not reach out to Saint Shiva to further mine own ends. I desired her strength only to forge anew the peace between man and dragon. What a fool I am to speak of peace to you, a bloodthirsty savage who murders without thought or compunction. Enough, enough, I say. If the Nath have truly brought forth their deity from the Aether, we must face it together, or watch our hopes fall apart. All now rests upon this primal's defeat. But ere we think of confronting it, we must first study its origins. What is the nature of this god? What manner of face sustains its existence? My apologies. You are right, of course. Let us return to Tailfeather and consult with Marthatope. He knows more of the Nath and their culture than most. I actually did think we moved on from Tailfeather quicker than I remember. That's because we still have to hang out with them. Actually, They won't mind if we're not exactly passing through, not before we do their whole deal of defeating the primal, but we are allowed to attune to the Aetherite first, right? No one minds? No one's here, so no one can complain. Is this also like an ancient Ishgardian thing, that they installed this Aetherite 1,000 years ago? Can't imagine my fear otherwise. Oh yeah, and oh, it's further than I thought. I could have sworn there was like an aether current in this region, right around the towers. It's just somewhere to the north, though. We'll worry about that later. Surely they didn't reduce the amount of aether currents, like in previous expansions, did they? Has it always been just like 4 in this region? Oh, back already, are we? Ah, met the nest, did you? What is it you'd like to? You want to kill a god. Summoned a primal, you say? 7 hells. I don't know bugger all about Nath religion, if I'm honest. Beyond their trading habits, there never seemed much point in asking. But it shouldn't be that hard to find out. From time to time, we barter with a small hive to the north and west of here. Outcasts from the main tribe, from what I understand. I reckon they'd be willing to tell you a bit about themselves, if you give them the right incentives. That sounds promising. What exactly would an ass consider to be the right incentives? Oh, nothing your average hunter couldn't scrounge up in a day or two. But seeing as you're in a hurry, you might want to divide the chores amongst yourselves. You want a good-sized jar of landtrap nectar, a basket of Kalim tree fruit, and, always a Nath's favorite, a generous portion of young Nanka flesh. I shall gather the fruit. Leaping to the lower branches of these forest giants should present a little challenge to me. Then I shall collect the nectar, with Master Alfinaut's arcane assistance. What, you need magic for that? And that leaves you to bring home the meat. You'll need to carve it from the smaller Nankas that live in the rivers. 3 big hunks should be enough, I reckon. Once you've got everything together, you'll need to set it down at what we call the trading post. Here, I'll mark the spot on your map for you. You have been most kind, Master Marsajamp. Well then, let us attend to our respective tasks, and reconvene at the trading post. I need hardly add that the last one there is a rotten Nanka egg. Well, it's not going to be us. Quickly, Komori. Over there, huh? I think I made the mistake before of trying to go through this little path over there. So let's repeat that mistake just to relive the experience. Yeah, it's not really a path here, it's just a cliff. It's a one-way path, I guess. And I made the mistake, of course, on my main character, of trying to jump my way up there somehow. But of course the designers wouldn't have allowed such a path to exist. They surely tested it themselves. For whatever reason, you have to go a long way around. Although we can take this shortcut, and fill in a bit of the map while we do it. Right here. Around this bend. What of our 3 groups is going to become the rotten Nanka egg? Estinian's probably way too fast, like jumping around gathering fruits on trees. Although he's not really much of a botanist or whatever, right? So maybe he'll have trouble with the fruits. Isel and Alfinaut are a team of 2 handling 1 job, so I feel like they'll get their job done faster. And then there's us killing these Nonkas. No matter how quickly we kill them, we're still beholden to the whims of Final Fantasy XIV. The way the game works in the passage of time between quests. If they say we're slow, we're slow. If they say we're fast, we're fast. Is our chocobo isn't out. And kill. The rook didn't quite finish it off. About as efficient as we could have been, maybe? Not really, but only like a difference of a minute or so if we didn't screw around wandering around. Damn it. We're the raw Nonka egg. I shouldn't have screwed around. When I set out to master the dragoon's jump, it was not to strike fear into the hearts of high-hanging fruit. Master Alphinaud possesses a rare talent for the arcane arts. Should he continue to apply himself to their study, he will become a formidable mage in time. I was able to gather a goodly amount of nectar from the land traps, though I would not have known how to harvest it without Isael's help. Do you have the Nonka meat? Ninki Nonka. Splendid. I shall put this with Estinian's fruit, and assemble a suitably generous-looking hamper for the Nass. Oh. We got a ring, I guess. Well, everything appears to be in order. Assuming no one has any objections to my choice of presentation, I shall place our offerings at the trading post as instructed. Were I of the Nass, I think I would be suitably impressed. Well, how long must we wait? Should we have sounded a signal or some such? Calm yourself, Master Alphinaud. Our offering has not gone unnoticed. Long has it been since hunters last came to trade, bearing gifts that filled the air with such delightful scents. Landtrap nectar. Kalim fruit tree. Did I miss something there? And Nonka flesh. What delectable foods you have brought us. Our meager existence is much enriched by your bounty. Come, hunters. Come to our hive if you would trade. Cramped and stifling our homes are, but the rancid incense keeps the dragons at bay. Cramped, stifling, and horribly smelly. But better to live in stench than be cracked and crunched by dragon jaws, yes? Come, come, it is not far. Funny walking guys, those Nass. Isael, how would you feel about being cracked and crunched by dragon jaws? Apparently Shiva liked it. These Nass seem harmless enough, almost jovial even. I would prefer, however, that we conclude our business with them as soon as possible. Can those truly be Nass? Were it not for their appearance, I would think them wholly unrelated to the savage creatures that attacked us on the road. Strangely friendly, are they not? Or mayhap just strange. And over here, where there's no path, just kind of behind some rocks, almost tucked away hidden, we have the Nath village. I guess you get up there by flying? Probably. Certainly not platforming. It's not one of those. No. Lost Astvas. Not as impressive as those towers we saw in the distance before, but similar architecture. Just kind of peeking out over the ledge here. Guess you could kind of approach it from this end and jump up. Nothing stopping you. But the entrance is right over there. That's really all there is to say. I guess there's this place over here, which is just kind of a storage place. Put a pin in that though. We'll come back there later. Your presence has been announced to the storyteller. You must speak to our chosen leader in words, for we are Vas. We are the non-mind. The storyteller awaits you. If you wish to trade, then it is to him that you must speak. Welcome to our hive hunters. You have brought delicacies much sought after by our people, and we are much pleased. What would you have in return? Honored Elder, pray allow me to begin by thanking you for welcoming us into your home, and for accepting our humble offerings. My companions and I are come in search of knowledge, specifically, knowledge of your people's god. Knowledge alone? What strange hunters you are. But if it is words you desire, then words you shall have. We are the Vas, the non-mind, and to speak is our fate. You will hear the tale of the Nath god, of the god the One Mind summoned to our midst. The One Mind. These are the Nath who reside in the main colony? Yes, they are one, connected. But let us begin the story at its beginning. Some moons ago, a single dragon flew in from the east, bleeding and weak. It fell from the sky and into the hive, where it was swarmed by our brethren, and with spear and spell and musket the dragon was slain. It was likely one that had fled battle with my kinsman. I should commend you for finishing the job. Seriously, Estenian, at every point. Dragons are fierce and terrible adversaries. The One Mind would always cower when their winged shadows passed over the ground, but no longer. They had learned that a battle-weary Dravanian was easy prey. Thus did the Overmind decide to heed the words of the black-robed men. The One Mind would call forth our god, and unleash his blades upon the dragons. Dravanian lands would become Nath lands, and ever larger would grow our domain. But our god ever hungers. The price he demands in crystals far exceeds the rewards for this war. We of the Vas despise and revile his insatiable existence. Guess we'll get the aiming one, although we really don't need it, do we? Oh, wait. Yeah, we do have a level 150 ring, because it goes up to level 160. But I guess we don't have any... Yeah, I only got the armor, high-end gear for this, so maybe I do actually need to consider the accessories. Well, we can just sell it if we don't need it. We are the non-mind. The whispers of thought are grown silent, and with our voices aloud we must speak. Of necessity, then, was a storyteller chosen. And we've unlocked side quests in this region. Mainly just this one. And if there are any... if this chains into any other quests, I guess we'll do it, but... we'll start with this. Though we hear not each other's thoughts, generous hunter, you somehow know what we need, that we need help. Well, it's because of the icon above your head. We'll call it the adventurer's sense. Our weapon stocks are wanting. We need more. I would make a request of you. Please bring us muskets with which to defend ourselves. You can take them from the nest nearby. 2 would be sufficient. Oh, I guess I was wrong. I guess sometimes it is 2. Surprising that. Sometimes it's 1, apparently sometimes it's 2, and sometimes it's 3 or 4. And I do think it is actually sometimes 5, but I could be wrong about that too. That's pretty far down. That'll be quite a trek back up. Maybe I should have accepted the main quest this time. What is the main quest? A Nathic deity. Yeah, I think we are actually dealing with a primal in that quest. Maybe. Or it could take more work than I remember. If we are dealing with a primal, then I probably should have taken on the main quest at the same time as this one, just to save the trek. It doesn't really matter. Would it be faster to teleport back? We'd have to take like a circuitous pass, like zigzagging back and forth. I'm not sure that would be faster if we compare the straight line distance. I guess we'll just walk back. Can we aggro this one without aggroing the others? Yeah. Oh, what's that? That was the wrong one, apparently. Did we aggro the other one? Straight line. Right over there. You can just see it off in the background. I think. Is that the village? The stone that I see over there? Oh, no, wait, it would be to the left of that. Yeah, that's not architecture, is it? Or it is. Yeah, it's just an arch. The village itself is to the left of that. Still a decent portion of the map we have to explore. Oh, this one. This fate. You can tell by the 20-minute timer. This is like a special one. It's like a pretty hefty fight. In fact, I don't think you can even take it on if you were like a solo tank or something with a chocobo healing you. Maybe you could. It either does too much damage or it just has too much health that you need like a huge party to actually take care of it. All the fates are supposed to be multiplayer, but that one specifically, I seem to recall it's a pretty special one. Have you the muskets? Thank you, Hunter. With these we can arm ourselves, defend ourselves. We are of the same blood as the Ness, but even we find it utterly unnerving, the way they think as one, the way they move as one. It is hard to imagine us as the same people. Did that unlock a quest chain? I don't actually know. Cause like, I'll have to check back on my footage, I guess, if that guy right there unlocked after we finished this quest just now. I blinked and I missed it. I know these two were already ready, so they're not part of the chain, so to speak, so... Wait. Did this guy have a quest? Just based on the description, I can't tell if these were part of the chain. Maybe we just accept the main quest, and if one of these two was actually part of the chain, then I'll come back and do them. I call upon the power of a primal for the greater good, conscious all the while that I do so at grave cost to the land. I reason that it is a necessary evil, and willingly shoulder the burden of my sin. In suggesting that such crimes can be justified, you may argue that I presume too much. But you must surely see that I am aware of the magnitude of my transgressions. Not so the Nas. They summon their deity for no greater purpose than to expand their dominion. To a scion of the Seventh Dawn, one sworn to eliminate the primal threat, the distinction that you draw seems questionable at best. But the fact remains that my own grandfather risked unleashing the power of the 12 in an attempt to prevent the calamity. Thus, while I may not condone your actions, I at least understand them. So about that line, unleashing the power of the 12 to stop the calamity or whatever, he doesn't mention Phoenix specifically, so I don't think he swaps out that line if you completed the raids of Bahamut or whatever. But it is like related to that, right? Like there's more context to what Louis Saw summoned if you did the raids, and I feel like this character development or character point from Alphinaud is playing off of that, even if he doesn't directly reference it or change his line based on your quest progression. So yeah, I feel like this is after that. I mean, it is chronologically after that, but it's following that character-wise is all I wanted to say. Not so the Ness, as you so rightly put it. If they truly seek naught but territorial gain, I can only conclude that they are ignorant of the ruinous consequences of their god's insatiable appetite. The longer this primal is suffered to exist, the greater the suffering it will cause. It must be destroyed. How likely you propose the destruction of a god, Master Alphinaud, a being of whom we know not. Has it occurred to you that you may be sending the Warrior of Light to her death? No, You have the right of it, Estinian. 'Twould seem it is I who am guilty of presuming too much. Are they also doing this as like... Because I feel like maybe Alphinaud and other people were kind of cavalier about sending us to fight primals in A Realm Reborn, and this is like the first time we're being called, or someone is being called out for sending us to our deaths or something like that. Maybe not really, but not everything is going to be a callback to the previous writing style of A Realm Reborn or something like that, but this could also be playing into Alphinaud's whole character arc of humility and all that, the Crystal Braves and everything. I could just be connecting dots where there aren't any. Pray forgive me, Komoi. I mean, we've killed these guys before, but... Maybe Komoi never really thought about how people just kind of throw her to her death for their own purposes or something. Maybe she was just over-eager to get into a fight or something, not really thinking about if she should be helping out these people. Wait, Komori need not face this foe alone. Like her, I am blessed with the Echo's protection, and may do battle without fear of primal influence. Let me bear this burden. Huh, do you truly imagine yourself a second warrior of light? Remind me, how many primals have you faced, my lady? Not that it matters. We know not where this god resides, or how to challenge it. Unless you mean to pray until it happens, or unless you mean to pray until it appears. Estinian makes a valid point. Let us speak with the Vass, and learn how best to secure an audience with their deity. In this, at least, I may be of assistance. This might not actually be the quest to actually fight the primal. The young lord certainly appears eager to prove his worth. I guess what we're doing is set up for the actual fight. Put this idea from your minds, generous hunters. If you meet with our god, then he will have your souls. Surely you are not so generous as that? Just a repeat. You wish to meet our god? Offer yourself as a sacrifice, and you will soon be brought before him. We would mourn the loss of such generous hunters, however. Now there's an idea. We are Vass. We are the non-mind. We do not hear the one-mind's thoughts. We cannot predict their will. And what do you gather? There must be some way of infiltrating the main colony. No dialogue. The Vass greet mine every question with cryptic utterances. I fear I am no closer to understanding the tenets of their faith. These guys don't actually talk to us, but do repair our stuff. By the Fury, it's where these beastmen know less about their god than I do. You're not even talking to them, you're just standing here. What you got there? You are the generous hunters, yes? Many gifts you have brought us, but not enough for all of us to enjoy. Maybe you could bring us just one more? We are very fond of Nonka flesh. Yes, the meat of a young Nonka would make a fine repast. We just did that. We gotta do it again? Really? Did we not bring enough? It's not like I could have saved time by hunting another Nonka, like ahead of time. This is like quest stuff that you only get by killing the monsters during the quest. I'm pretty sure. And like I said, sometimes it's just one. I mean, technically this is the fourth one, but still. That wasn't as much damage as I thought, the self-destruct. Okay, surely one more meat is enough to feed the entire tribe. First it was 3, now it's 4. Can we jump up this? No. I'm glad you can jump up over this, though. It'd be a pain to use the main entrance every time. Oh, everyone's gathered. The Vass tell me that their tribe is not accustomed to giving each individual a name. It seems they only grasped the concept after they began trading with the hunters. For once I am in agreement with the Dragoon. Speaking with these beastmen is an exercise in frustration. And what has that to do with their primal of their face, Master Alfie note? Let us glean the information we require and be done with this place. I don't know, I kinda like it here. The music is nice and relaxing. It's so relaxing, in fact, I think I'm gonna take a moment to enjoy it. Now would be a good time to take a break.